Okay, so you guys really seem to be digging Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, especially that chapter on persistence.
Yeah, it's a good one.
A lot of you flag that as something you wanted to kind of dig into a bit deeper.
Definitely worth a deep dive.
So let's do it. Let's unpack some of Hill's insights on persistence and see how they might apply to, well, your goals, your life, all that good stuff. So just a little bit of context for anyone who might be new to this whole thing. Napoleon Hill, he was this author back in the early 1900s, and he did something really cool. He went out and interviewed some of the most successful people of his time.
Like the titans of industry, those kinds of people.
Exactly. He wanted to figure out, like, what made them tick,
Eh.
What were the secrets to their success?
Right, because there's got to be something more to it than just luck, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's how he wrote Think and Grow Rich, which, I mean, it's a classic for a reason. It's like jam-packed with this timeless wisdom about achieving success. And today, we're zeroing in on one specific piece of that puzzle, which is persistence. That thing that helps you bridge the gap between wanting something and actually making it happen.
Yeah, because we all want things, right? But turning those wants into reality, well, that's the tricky part.
For sure.
Okay.
So let's talk about Hill's take on persistence.
Yeah.
What I find really interesting is that he doesn't just tell you to, try harder. He kind of breaks it down as a skill, almost like a muscle you can develop.
That's what's so fascinating at his approach. It's not just about gritting your teeth and pushing through. It's more nuanced than that.
So it's like more than just willpower.
Yeah.
Right?
He actually defines persistence as the sustained effort to turn your desires into reality, and this part's important, in spite of challenges. Because let's face it, life throws us curveballs,
Oh, yeah, constantly. I feel like some days are just one big obstacle course. And in today's world, I think one of the biggest challenges we face is just, information overload, right? We're bombarded with distractions, constantly being pulled in different directions.
Absolutely. And Hill wrote about this way before the internet and smartphones, but his insights are even more relevant now.
Seriously, my screen time report is basically a judgmental AI at this point. So how does Hill's idea of persistence help us combat that? How do we stay focused with all this noise around us?
Well, he lays out this 6-step framework, and I think 2 of those steps are particularly helpful here. The first one is what he calls definiteness of purpose.
Okay, definiteness of purpose. What does that mean exactly?
It's all about knowing exactly what you want, like having this crystal clear vision of your goal. Because when you're clear on your purpose, it's easier to filter out the noise, all the distractions and shiny objects that are vying for your attention.
So it's almost like having those blinders on, like a racehorse, just focusing on the finish line and blocking out everything else.
Exactly. It's about staying laser focused on what matters most to you. And then the second step that I think is super relevant here is accurate thinking.
Accurate thinking. Got it.
Yeah.
So what's that all about?
It's about using facts and logic to make decisions and guide your actions, not letting your emotions or, whatever fleeting trend is happening to derail you. Because it's so easy to get caught up in the hype of whatever's trending, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. FOMO is real, man.
Right. But accurate thinking helps you stay grounded in your goals, in your purpose. It's about being discerning, not just jumping on every bandwagon that comes along.
That makes a lot of sense. But even when you have that clear vision, you're thinking logically, sometimes staying motivated is still tough. And Hill talks a lot about desire being crucial for persistence, right? What's the connection there? Why is desire so important?
Desire, think of it as the fuel, the driving force behind your persistence. Remember that feeling when you really wanted something? Really, really badly, like you were just obsessed with getting it.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like when you just need that double chocolate chip cookie and nothing else will do.
Exactly. It's that intense craving, that burning desire that gives you the energy to keep going even when you hit roadblocks, when things get tough. It's the fuel that keeps your engine running.
Okay, so you got to want it bad enough to power through the rough patches.
Yeah.
Does Hill give any, real-world examples of this in the book?
Oh, tons.
Yeah.
But there's this one story he tells about this oil driller named Darby, and it's the perfect illustration of this principle. So Darby, he was absolutely convinced that there was oil on his land. But he faced setback after setback. I mean, we're talking drilling for months, hitting nothing but dry holes, going bankrupt, the whole 9 yards. But his desire, his belief that there was oil there, it was so strong that he just kept going.
Wow, so even after all that, he still didn't give up.
Nope, he didn't. And you want to know the crazy part?
Don't tell me. What happened?
He finally struck oil, like a gusher, just 3 feet from where he was about to give up.
Whoa, that's insane. But so he just got lucky then, right? Just happened to be in the right spot at the right time.
Well, there's definitely an element of luck involved, but it wasn't just blind luck. Here's the thing. Darby didn't just keep drilling in the same spot, hoping for the best. He was actively studying geological surveys, experimenting with different drilling techniques. He even, went back to work as a laborer to fund his drilling efforts. So his persistence was this really interesting combination of unwavering belief, like that burning desire we talked about, and strategic action. He wasn't just, sitting around wishing for oil. He was actively working towards his goal, using his knowledge and resources to increase his chances of success.
So it sounds like it's not just about wishful thinking, just hoping and praying that things will work out. It's about actually pursuing your goal, taking concrete steps, even when it gets really tough.
Exactly. And that's where another one of Hill's steps comes into play, self-discipline.
Self-discipline, yeah, that sounds a bit daunting, like forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do.
Well, it's not necessarily about forcing yourself. It's more about having the commitment to take consistent action, even when you don't feel like it. It's about showing up and doing the work day after day because you're so committed to that vision you have, to that goal you're pursuing.
Okay, so it's about consistently showing up, even when you're not feeling it. I've actually found that for me, self-discipline is often more about managing my environment than just sheer willpower. Like, if I need to focus, I literally have to put my phone in another room. Otherwise, it's just game over.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Hill would agree with that? Like, is that part of his whole persistence philosophy?
Absolutely. He actually talks about the importance of having a conducive environment for success, surrounding yourself with the right people and minimizing distractions. So yeah, he'd definitely be on board with your phone banishing strategy.
Okay, good. Glad to know I'm on the right track. So I guess to kind of wrap things up, it seems like what we're learning here is that persistence is not some magical quality that some people have and others don't. It's a skill, something we can actually develop. And Hill gives us a framework for doing that, with his 6 steps. It's about having that burning desire, that crystal clear purpose, and then taking consistent action, making sure that our thinking is aligned with our goals. And, honestly, I think what really stuck with me from all of this is Hill's idea that obstacles are actually opportunities in disguise.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. It's such a powerful way to reframe challenges, isn't it? Because instead of seeing those obstacles as roadblocks, we can ask ourselves, how can I use this to learn, to grow, to get even closer to my goal?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Really makes you think,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a pretty awesome thought to leave our listeners with. Thanks so much for this deep dive. I really appreciate it. It's definitely given me a lot to think about, for sure.
My pleasure. Always happy to chat about Hill. He's a fascinating guy.
He really is. Okay. All right. Until next time, everybody.
See ya!